Let's put our hands together and congratulate this young man doing an awesome job.
Congratulations, Bryce. You have our class winner. Now we're moving into our second class with Brooks Westfall. Might be the danger zone game.
Just a single entry here in our second class, but certainly appreciate a lot of attributes this young man's Gilt brings to the table. That one's center body and body shape's very, very impressive. She's big in terms of her bone and her ankle. She's not really wanting to go out and stroll and show herself off, but I think when she does go ahead and release and get her head up, I think she balances up really well. One that's certainly muscular on the top side of her shoulder. I like to change her there when she goes away from you, or hawk posture, maybe make her move with a little more stability as she goes away, maybe square her up to the base of her chest and to the show ring surface, but one that's certainly very fresh, one's well presented. Congratulations to this young man.
Congratulations, Brooks. Now we're going to bring Brooks and Bryce back out in the ring with both of their Durocs for our champion Duroc drive.
Two high quality Duroc gilts out here, and the young men are doing a really nice job. I think these both offer some positive attributes, and they're definitely different in what they bring to the table. The young man's closest to me that wins the first class, really love this one from the side. When she gets her head up and she strolls around the ring with some flexibility and some comfort, she looks like a female through the center portion of her body. I like the way her neck comes out of the top side of her shoulder. I think she's got enough balance or enough muscle. She's not as wolfy right behind her blade as compared to the one that wins the second class. Maybe not quite as crisp to the turn of her loin. I think that one's just squareness at the ground is certainly we have to appreciate. The young man that wins the second class, like we said earlier, that one's bone density, that one's bulkiness right behind that one's shoulder blade, and just the density of that one's skeleton. And now that she's getting out, she balances up pretty good. That one definitely has the advantage of just shape right down the top side of her skeleton. We like to change the way that one moves out of her hind legs. She wants to get a little more base narrow up front, and as she goes away, maybe change her hind leg posture just a little bit. I think the one that suits us best today, just being the most complete, is going to be the one that wins the first class. The young man that wins the second class is going to be reserved. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the Westfall boys. Bryce is going to come in with our champion Duroc. Brooks has our reserve champion Duroc gilt. We're now ready for our Hampshire gilt class. We have a single entry from Maverick Bradford.
Just a single entry here, and our young man brings us a high quality class winner, one that's certainly tall shouldered, and you appreciate what she brings to the show ring in terms of her front end extension, one that's got a big blade working in her and a big forearm. You know, appreciate the center portion of that one's body being maternal. She's flexible enough on both ends of her skeleton. Let's put our hands together and congratulate this young man on a nice class winner.
Congratulations, Maverick. You have our champion Hampshire gilt. Next into the ring will be our Poland breed. We have a single entry from Bryce Westfall. Alicia, I can see you being a down here girl.
Just a single entry here in our Poland division, but the young man brings us one we certainly can appreciate a lot of things about. That one, when you get on top of her for a Poland's got some turn to her rib and some turn to her back shape. She's good through the center portion of her body as well. She's a gilt that offers us lots of length and extension. Let's put our hands together and congratulate him on a nice class winner.
Congratulations, Bryce. You have our champion Poland gilt. As soon as we get her pinned, we'll have our spot breed. We have a single entry from Brooks Westfall. Range races are good, but they're, let's just say they're very maternal.
Are they Chester?
Think of a Chester, bigger ears, like
No.
huge ears,
No.
huge ears. Like their ears covered to the end of their snout.
Oh, see?
So that makes them even
Here
more
goes, Bryce.
blind and angry at the world sometimes.
But they'll lay down and have 16 babies.
Oh, they'll, yep,
Yeah. Oh, they'll lose them.
yeah. And
Just a single entry here in our spot division, but the young man brings us one that certainly we can appreciate a lot of things about. That is one stout gauge, big-footed kind of a female that's very pliable in her skeleton. She reaches and flexes off of both ends of her skeleton, and we certainly appreciate that. And from a muscularity standpoint, she's broad at the ground. She's broad at the base of her chest. Her shape and expression down her spine and out the top side of her hip are very good. High-quality spot. Congratulations to that young man.
congratulations, Brooks. You have our champion spot gilt. Soon as we switch them out there in the ring, we'll be ready for our light cross gilts. It is a single entry by Bryce Westfall.
Just a single entry here in our life crosses. The young man brings us one that we can certainly appreciate. That one's build in terms of bone and foot size. That one's got a big forearm in her. A pig that's got some shape working down her spine, and when she gets out and goes, she goes ahead and levels out and looks relatively comfortable in her spine. We'd like to change that one to front 1/3 of her and change her jaw and her head just to make her a little more aesthetically pleasing. Let's put our heads together and congratulate this young man.
Congratulations, Bryce. You have our champion light cross gilt. Now we're moving into our last gilt class of the day. It is our dark cross. We have a single entry from Brooks Westfall.
High quality single entry here the young man brings to us, one that's very captivating as soon as she hits the ring, and just in terms of her presence, the height at her shoulder, the sweep to her belly. She's not the biggest legged one we've ever seen, but she's certainly stout in terms of her feature. She is big and fresh in terms of her back right behind her blade. Just a high quality kind of a female. Congratulations to him.
Congratulations, Brooks. You have our champion Dark Cross Guild. We are now ready for our champion guilt drive. So coming back out in the ring will be our Duroc from Bryce Westfall, our Hampshire from Maverick Bradford, our Poland by Bryce Westfall, our Spot by Brooks Westfall, Light Cross by Bryce Westfall, and our Dark Cross, Brooks Westfall. So I think we've got enough showmen to get them in the ring. And this is your champion guilt drive. And we've almost forgot about our adult showmanship nominations. So at any time, any moment, we will take your nominations for those adult showmanships. So if you have a favorite hog showman in the ring or you want to see in the ring, come down and pay your $10 and we will get them on the list.
We have nomination for Ronnie Joe Nix. I'll need change because I'm running out of money.
Oh, you're the nominee. There you go.
Thank you. It is Ronnie Joe, isn't it? Yep. I want to get that right. Here we go.
Bring out all our class winners here in the Breeding Guilt Show, and I think we are all our division champions or breed champions out here, and I think we got a lot of quality in the show ring, and I think there's one, and we both agree that comes to the top relatively quick, and I think our back leg and bone is big. I don't think necessarily our front ankle matches her back ankle, but I think when you just study her at the ground and her center body and the way all the parts and pieces come together in terms of balance, muscularity, and flexibility, she wants to get a little lateral deviation in her hind leg when she's going. I'm not a hog guy by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's acceptable for me. The one we like the best is going to be the young man's Dark Cross. Congratulations to him. After that, I think it gets a lot closer between several of them in here, and we'll just talk those particular gilts. The young man Spot, we like that pig just in terms of her flexibility up front, her genuine base width, all the maternal swoop that she has to her belly, just her ease and comfort around the show ring. You know, she's not the EST of anything in here in terms of just shape and volume, but I think that's one high quality kind of a female. The young man's Duroc over there is one that hit us very hard from the onset. Tall-shouldered, good-necked, good-bodied. Get him out here, and we'd like to go ahead and let her flex a little better on her hind two. She gets a little plainer right there behind her shoulder blade in terms of her shape, in terms of ideal, but certainly one that's in the mix. And the young man's Hampshire appearing gilt here is another one that just as we sit here and study her and break her down, we love the way she's so flexible, she's so sound, she's so fresh. She's just not maybe the EST in terms of muscularity and cage and just boldness of things. So we're going to go out here and look at them just a little bit longer and get you a reserve champion, but congratulations to all these exhibitors.
Champion Breeding Guild goes to Brooks Westfall with his champion Dark Cross. We are now choosing between the rest of the breed champions for our reserve champion breeding guild. And our reserve champion breeding guild goes to Maverick Bradford with his Hampshire guild. Congratulations, guys. We will get the gilts put up and then get our switch out and get our bearers in here and ready to go. And then we'll get going with our market hog classes. During our short break right now, it would be an excellent time to get some more nominees for our adult showmanship. So if you know somebody that you would like to see in the show ring, come on down. $10 to get them into the show ring. We have two for our adult showmanship so far, Alicia Pitts and Ronnie Nix. So let's fill the ring up with our adults and get a lot of pigs out there. So adult showmanship nominations are now.
That dog learned all the commands yet?
No.
Hey,
No.
hey. What's up, Peachy?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Need you? Ready for next football season?
We slid right by. It got- Nice job, buddy. Way to go.
You're gonna have to give me some change, they put them on there. Right over here. Guy right there.
What you got? For who?
Keep opening that billfold. You're doing good.
All the time, man.
All the time.
Now my children, you know, Dad, you didn't do that.
We got you.
That's good. My grandkids. Papa always had.
Yeah, always will.
Oh, hey, he can stand on the sideline and coach them. Do nothing soon.
We do have a list that is growing for adult showmanship. So those that have been nominated are Ronnie Nix, Alicia Pitts, Marley Pitts, Robert Bond, James Hanson, Kelly Westfall, and Bo Westfall.
That's for Alicia.
I think I'd just add 2 more names to it.
Yeah, Caitlin Nix and Vinny Buckner.
I'm very busy. Very busy. Yeah, and make Maddie show Maddie.
Mark off Alicia.
What?
I know.
She better have paid you off.
Should have made her pay double for the get out.
Party pooper, Alicia. Tell her she's a party pooper. She's a party pooper.
Okay, we've got our bearers settled, and now we have our first class. It is the Berkshire breed, Waylon Gum, with his 224-pound barrow. Yep, that is him.
It's a good way to start off our Market Barra show. The young man's Berkshire Gilt here, or Berkshire Barra. That is one athletically built Barra that has a ton of shape and crease working from his blade back into his hip. He's good to the turn of his rib. He's stout and functional out of his hip. High quality, kind of a market hog. Congratulations to that young man.
Waylon Gum has our champion Berkshire barrow. Next into the ring will be our Duroc. We have a single entry from Rice and Bradford.
Single entry here in our first class of Durocs. The young man brings us one that's a very sound, functional, pliable skeleton. When he gets that one's head up and rolls across the ring, and he's tall-shouldered and level, very comfortable as he goes across the ring. You can get critical on that guy. We just need to stouten him up in terms of his base width and his turn to his cage, but certainly appreciate the positives that he brings to the table. Congratulations to that young man.
Congratulations, Rice and Bradford. You have our champion Duroc barrow. When we get him pinned, we will be ready for our Hampshire class. We have a single entry from Jay Beck.
Just a single entry here in our belted class. The young man brings us one that is certainly sound and flexible and moves with a lot of authority across the ring. One that looks like he could go for days and days. We just need to stouten this guy up in terms of bone, foot size, and feature, blow him apart. But certainly from his shoulder blade forward is one that his neck sets up very high on the top side of his shoulder blade. You appreciate the extension that he has in that aspect. Let's put our hands together and congratulate this young man.
Congratulations, Jay. You have the champion Hampshire barrow. Now moving into our next breed, we have a spot class. We have a single entry in our spotted barrow class, Hayden Gum. Briston, Briston, yeah, and then Jay, and then the little one is Brexton.
See, don't make it any easier, do it?
No. So, Bria, Briley, Briston, Jay, Brexton.
Good kids.
Yeah.
Really
Just got to keep them all straight. I got to go in order.
Yeah, they need to wear numbered jerseys, really. So who's the...
Okay, so Garrett, I think Slade is little brother. So Slade Gum, and then this is his middle.
Just a sync. Single entry here again. The young man brings us a nice minor breed market hog, a hog that when he first came in is one that you certainly appreciate the way that he uses his hind leg and the angle to his shoulder. One that's very comfortable getting around the ring. He's good in terms of his bone and foot size. One that from afar doesn't read to have as much shape up high, but when you go in for close inspection, he's got a nice turn to his rib cage right there behind his shoulder blade. One that you like the swoop that he has and the capacity that has through the center portion of his body. We just need to go ahead and blow him apart in terms of his base width. Congratulations to this young man.
Congratulations to Hayden Gum. He has the champion spot barrow. As soon as we get him out of the ring, we will have our Yorkshire class. We have a single entry from Briston Beck.
That's the only York. Just a single entry here in our York division. A nice individual, one that's tall-shouldered and very athletic as soon as he hits the show ring gate. One that's sound and flexible. One that has some has some look through his center portion of his body there in his rear rib and flank. One that's really square when he goes away from you in terms of his hock to ground placement. When this one runs into some problems is when he comes right at you. He wants to concave there at the base of his chest. If we could go ahead and blow him apart right there at the show ring surface and push that through the rest of his skeleton, it would be to his benefit, but certainly appreciate lots of things about him. Congratulations to this exhibitor.
Congratulations, Briston. You have the champion Yorkshire Barrow. Now we're moving into our light cross class. We have a single entry from Rice and Bradford.
Young man brings us a high quality light cross. One that's the word that popped into my head as soon as he came in was dense. That guy has got a stout noggin. He's big jawed, and you study him all the way to the ground, and from his tip of his nose to the base of his tail, it reads true. That guy is very dense in terms of his forearm, his rib cage, his back shape. He's very stout out of his hip. Let's put our hands together and congratulate this young man on a nice crossbred.
Congratulations to Rice and Bradford. He has the champion light cross barrow. We have one more class in our barrow show. It will be the dark crosses, also from Rice and Bradford.
interesting dark cross to evaluate, and I'm trying to collect my thoughts and decide how I'm going to describe this one, because his head length and shape doesn't necessarily reflect what I thought the rest of his body was going to look like, because he's extremely long from his shoulder back, and to the point that maybe he's a rib too long and gets a little easy there in his top line, but his head's dense and it's short, and so it's kind of just throwing me off, and I think it throws off his balance ever so slightly. But him as an individual, he's good in terms of his bone and his foot size and his flexibility. He wants to get a little softer there on his front two pasterns, a little squishy, if you will, but certainly a bear that's got some turn to his cage. He's big out of the upper side of his hip. Let's put our hands together and congratulate this young man.
Congratulations, Ryson. You have our champion dark cross barrel. And we are now ready for our barrel drive. Coming back into the ring will be from our Berkshire breed, Waylon Gum. Our Duroc, Ryson Bradford. Our Hampshire will be Jay Beck. Our Spot will be Hayden Gum. Our Yorkshire will be Briston Beck. Our Light Cross will be Ryson Bradford. And our Dark Cross is Ryson Bradford.
Adley, don't drag that box across the ring now. He might collect a little bit. Good job, Hayden. Keep him going, Maverick.
Let's put our hands together for our champion market hog exhibitors out here. There's a lot of quality out here amongst each breed, and I think each kid out here is doing a very, very good job, and y'all should be commended on the work that you've done, not only today, but in the last few days and weeks and months leading up to this point. There was no domestic dispute on this decision. We were very unanimous this time, and I think there's one that comes out here and wins for fun for us, just in terms of starting at the ground and building them up from there in terms of bone, base width, rib cage, density of skeleton. Is this thing perfect? No, we'd like to modify him in a couple ways, but I still think he's very, very good. The young man on the far end with that light cross will have your champion. Congratulations for him. I think it gets a lot closer between a few of them out here, but ultimately the one that we're going to end up on is one that's just very, very impressive in terms for his breed to have that kind of shape, that kind of density to his skeleton, one that's very sound and flexible. I'll be the first one to tell you when I'd like to change the way his neck ties into his shoulder, and I'd like to push his shoulder blade back into him, just realign the front third of his skeleton. But I think when you just study in terms of bone, foot size, rib cage, and density of skeleton, and putting it together in an aesthetically pleasing package, this young man's Berkshire appearing hog is going to be reserved. Congratulations to him.
And our champion market hog goes to Rice and Bradford with his light cross barrel. And our reserve champion market hog goes to Waylon Gum with his Berkshire. Congratulations, guys. We are now ready to go into showmanship with our pig showman. We have a different division this time. We have our peewees. We have 4 peewee showmen that will be coming out. It will be Brooks Westfall, Hayden Gum, Maverick Bradford, and Bryce Westfall. So the peewee showmen are in 2nd grade and below. And as you look in the room around the show ring, there's several of those young ones that are coming up. And it's always fun to watch them go around and drive their hogs out there in the show ring. So peewee showmanship will be coming in the ring.
Big stampede. Uh-oh. Gotta
Gather them back up. If you were nominated for our swine showmanship, don't forget to be checking out the ring, picking out the pig that you want to show for that showmanship contest. In our swine showman, we only have peewees, juniors, and intermediates. So it will be coming up soon. And if you would still like to nominate anybody for showmanship, we are still taking nominations.
What do you got?
I had several on the envelope there, Bill. Is there any new ones, Keisha?
Ronnie Nix, Marley Pitts, Robert Vaughn, James Hampton, Kelly, and Bill Westfall.
Okay. You didn't want to stay out there in the danger zone? Those whips are dangerous in the little ones.
Got it all figured out.
We're a little bit away from this.
Probably a couple seconds. You need a special message?
I'm going to try to interview Adley, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting a little clash.
I don't see Maverick. We got Pee Wee, Junior, Intermediate, and Adult. Running out of battery?
I got my other camera.
Okay. Always something. Just skip this morning. This is not what it's supposed to be. Is Maverick going to come in or is he done? Oh, you're not scared of me. We are now complete. So, in the orange shirt over here is Brooks Westfall. In the bright yellow is Hayden Gum. Maverick has a sweatshirt on. And in the black vest is Bryce Westfall. It's interview time. You're fine. Just kind of take that and hold it up for a second. I'm going to talk about it for a minute. Toward the audience and all.
Let's put our hands together and congratulate these 4 young men out here doing a really good job. In my 18 years of teaching ag and 2 years at Redlands Community College and judging some shows in between, I don't think I've ever judged a showmanship where there was only 4 or there was only males, because usually it's all females. So it's good to see every now and then. I think all 4 of you do a really, really good job. I think there's a pair of them that kind of rise to the top of just getting their hogs to do exactly what they want to do. One of them about hit me in the knee 4 times, so that's what's going to separate the pair from me. I think they all do a really, really good job. This young man right here closest to me, I think he's done an exceptional job throughout the day. He's going to be your champion or junior showman.
Oh, no. Congratulations, Brooks. Brooks is our Pee Wee Swine Showman winner. Our next class, we're going to bring our junior showman in. That is kids from grades 3 through 6. We have 3 of those at this time. So Waylon Gum, Jay Beck, and Rice and Bradford will be coming in the ring. Okay. Adley's going to play our Vanna White for a moment and show off our really cool belt buckle holders. These are our awards for our showmanship winners. And so you always wonder what to do with the belt buckles because you can only wear one at a time. And so they found these really neat belt buckle holders to hang up on the wall and show them off. So thank you, Chancey. I think Chancey found them this time and made really cool prizes. Okay, Vanna, you're done. She's gonna have to get used to it. So our junior exhibitors are out in the ring, and we've all got our 4-H shirts on, so we're a little harder to distinguish. So over on the far west side, making the turn back this way with his belted barrow is Jay Beck. With his Berkshire down there at the west end, coming back this way is Waylon Gum. And then with our Red Hog, our Duroc, is Rice and Bradford.
get off the treadmill. Look at him. Another good set of intermediate showmen out here, and I think all three of them do a really, really good job. And one thing that I've noticed, and our brief stint is showing pigs, which was very, very brief. These things can run out of gas quick, fast, and in a hurry. And there's one in here that's had his mouth open for a long time, and he looks like me when I get off the treadmill. But that thing is never screamed. He's never fought the corner. He's just literally gassed, and he's not giving that young man a lick of problem. I think all three of you do a really good job. The one that suits me best today is composure, is eye contact, staying away from me. The young man was showing this belted hog's going to be your champion. Congratulations to him. Good job. Look at sucker's mouth is never closed.
Yeah. Congratulations, Jay Beck. You are our junior showmanship winner. We have one more class. We have a single entry in our intermediate showmanship division. It will be Briston Beck.
Ken, I'm going to squeeze in, Ken. Just this. We're at this camera. So this is Adley Hansen, who has been so busy today that she hadn't had any time to talk to me at all. But I said, hey, let's squeeze in between these two classes. You've had something to do every minute. Now, you're the president of the chapter 4-H, and this is the 4-H FFA stock show. It's been an awfully good one, it looks to me like. What do you think?
Yeah, it's been fun.
So when you go to the county, what changes? Is it just more competition? Is it tougher, or just everything's fine?
Just more intensity and more animals.
So a while ago, you were judging. You and your brother got to judge a senior showman class, and the guy that won. Well, it doesn't make any difference who won. What were you looking for there in the showmanship?
Just square footing and walking around the ring very consistency, with very good consistency, and just keeping their heads up.
So the guy that won really did a great job, didn't he?
Yeah, it's probably because he's helped us in the barn a little bit.
Probably, and he is Dad. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
Adley Hansen.
Just a single entry here in our senior showman. The young man's doing a really good job, very knowledgeable about the project that they got out here. Let's put our hands together and congratulate them on their champion senior showman.
You just don't want to get in here.
Well, last year it was freezing out there, remember?
Wind was blowing, yeah. Our intermediate showmanship champion is Briston Beck.
Way to go, Briston.
Okay, no seniors. Okay, so our showmanship winners can come in and help us decide who our adult showmanship winners are going to be. Those of you that were nominated for adult showmanship, come on to the ring, pick you out a pig. We're about ready to go. Hey, Chancey. Chancey, can you hand me this so I can make sure all of them get on? As a reminder, those that have been nominated for adult showmanship: Ronnie Nix, Marley Pitts, Robert Bond, James Hansen, Kelly Westfall, and Bo Westfall.
What? I don't have a whip. I don't have a hog. I don't like deer rice.
You're good.
Don't want to mess up the new equipment.
Can I nominate somebody for the adult showmanship?
They've got the envelope right down there. We've got quick Crystal.
Whatever.
Yeah, Keisha. Keisha or Chancey Wine will get it for you.
Benny, before you leave, I have to get a picture with you.
You're a liar.
Over against the wall.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Apologize.
Yep. Ty, with this set of showmanship in there, you might have to have the board on ready just in case. So.
So who are the judges? Brooks and Jay?
Yes.
Brooks.
Yep. All right, so our showmanship winners are out there judging our adult showmanship. So we have Brooks Westfall from our Pee Wees, Jay Beck from our juniors, and Briston Beck from the intermediate division. Congratulations, James Hanson. You are the adult showmanship winner. We're going to take about a 10-minute break to get the show ring ready and get all the pigs put away, and we'll be back with our cattle.
Yes. We are at the Winoka 4-H and FFA Livestock Show, the local show. And we're going to take a break to reconfigure the show barn and get ready to move into cattle. So move the pigs out and realign the arena here. And we'll be back with you live streaming in just a few minutes. So stay with us. And we appreciate all of our sponsors that send us around the country to do sports and community.